Hello guys, and in today's video I'm finally going to be making a beginner friendly guide on some of the things about track making in GTA, or how to use the Rockstar creator in the game. So what this first episode is about is about how to use some of the settings that are in here, looking over all the settings essentially. So if you guys know this, you guys can skip this first episode. Don't, or if you want to refresh your mind, you can use this as a refresher. So let's jump straight into the video. So the first thing you're going to see when you open up the creator is creating a deathmatch, creating a race, and all the other different types of stuff that you can do in there, like loading your previous creations and all that stuff. What we're going to be choosing is creating a race, obviously, because that's going to be the best way uh, to make the track in general, and it's where you have all the cars. Then we're also going to be clicking stunt race and just pure stunt race, so in that way we get the most props we possibly can, because if we use a normal race, we're going to actually be a little bit limited in props, and I want there to be more props for you guys to use. So the first thing we can do is warp to whatever spot you want to do. All you have to do is open up the map, and then there will be a little warp button. Basically, when you click A on any spot you want to go to that your thing is over top of, you'll warp over to that spot. So already have that in mind, and if you don't, just look around the map. If you do, go there. As you saw, I placed a trigger. Why did I do that? Well, the event triggers actually allow you to go into the props in the first place, which then opens up the entire prop category for you to use. Now what I'm doing is I am just making a quick little platform by using these blocks. It is the easiest way to make a quick platform, so that way if you use upside down racing tracks, which I'll show you guys later, you can actually make them flatter than just using the normal ground. So I usually do this just so that way it helps me out, but you can also do this if you want to. Now as you can see in the override thing, X moves it left to right, Y moves it forward and backwards, and Z moves it up and down, so that way you can put it in whatever place you want to. Available cars are for the cars that you can use in the race. So how you can get drift cars is by unselecting all of them until you reach drift. Keep that selected and you'll get only drift cars. Now you're going to see me hit the switch camera button, and what that does is actually put you in game with the car that is currently selected. You can change that in the settings. So to flip the raised stunt tracks, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be changing the rotational type from world heading to pitch. And what that's going to allow us to do is using the bumpers to rotate said thing to get it upside down, which is the one that I use. Now, it won't be exact. You got to put it down and kind of figure out the right level of it until you can get it perfect. But yeah, it's a very good piece. You saw there, I also placed down the tiles that I used to make the platform in the first place, and these are two different level surfaces, but they're also kind of a little bit different, obviously, because the upside down tracks are going to be a little bit more slipperier, a little bit slidey, kind of like or in the actual map, while as the other one is going to be a little bit more gripped up, but slightly slippery. So using those variables to your advantage to make a good track out of them. Those are two good options. There's a lot more options that you can use, but those are kind of the main ones that people use. Finally, for this first overview, we're going to be looking at checkpoints. Checkpoints you can place in a whole bunch of variable sizes, especially for the starting grid. The starting grid can be placed in small grids, medium grids, and large grids, which I don't actually show here. And also you can change the amount of players within that grid to fit on your map. Now, there's a lot of ways you can get around to kind of fitting it into places, and it's kind of nice. Now, the rest of the checkpoints are really dependent on if you have laps, if you have point to point, and all that stuff, because if you have point to point, that means you're going to have to go technically a further distance, but it's going to be a better distance, especially when you have a track that's floating up in the air because you can only go off of it once, whereas if it was a lap, you'd have to create a way to go back up to get to the first checkpoint. So point to point is the one that I usually use and I recommend using. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the first episode of the series. This is going to be also a new series that I'm doing, which is basically going to be showing you guys step by step on kind of how to build a track. The next episode, I'm going to be going over like the thinking process of making a track, which I think is going to be very fun. So stay tuned for that video. This video was just like kind of the initial footsteps for beginners into getting with it. So if you already know all the stuff, you're good. You're golden. You don't need to watch it. But if you did, anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode of the series. And see you guys in the next video overall. I'll see you guys in the next one. Remote. Peace.